Well, hello everyone and welcome to the Yarra Pistol Club. It is our Christmas special of the Range Report. It's where the whole show started way back in April at the ISSF Nationals and the PA National Championships, and we're back here for our Christmas special. Joining me, of course, is Sergei Evgleski, one of our top ISSF shooters. Welcome along.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's great to be here. Look, we've been all over the place this year. We've been to many spots. We've covered national championships, world championships. We've picked up a few things along the way, like this beautiful hat that I got there, that metallic silhouette up in Narrabri. Of course, we've got the shirt there from the Action Nationals up in Toowoomba. Got the other shirt up there, which is from here at Yarra. It's been a big year. We've had such a good time. Let's go to Ray Andrews, our president, for the Christmas message.
Good evening, my name's Ray Andrews. I'm President of Pistol Australia, and I'd like to welcome you all to this Christmas edition of the Range Report. And while we're talking about the Range Report and what we've been doing over the last 12 months, I think it's opportune now to do a recap on some of the major things that happened through 2019. And on that point, I'd start off with the full PA Nationals at the Yarra Pistol Club back in Easter. We haven't had a big championship at Yarra for over 20 years, and it was an excellent competition, well run and well attended. And the other thing that came out of the Yarra Nationals, of course, was that we set 8 new national records from different events and different people. And followed up by Yarra would have been the World Championships in WA 1500, which were held on the new Hilltop Range in New South Wales. It's a brand new facility. It was built by the New South Wales government, and it was well attended with over 39 countries from overseas attending. And the big outcome for us in Pistol Australia was the fact that Peter Bruce became the world champion in the Revolver event, and subsequently the next day, combined with Chris Banfield, they won the World Team event in the pistol section. And also, while we're on World Champions, must acknowledge Sherry Blake, who is the current Action Pistol Champion, World Champion, so congratulations to her also. And the next big one, of course, was the Oceania Championships held at the Sydney International Shooting Centre back in November. At the Oceania, of course, that was when we were trying to win quota places for our team to go to Tokyo in 2020. And I'm glad to say that we had 4 events to qualify in to win quota places for Australia, and we achieved those with Dina Aspendova winning the quota place for 10 metre air pistol women, Bailey Groves for 10 metre air pistol men, and Alina Galibolovich for 25 metre pistol women, and Sergei Evgleski in the rapid fire event. So congratulations to those 4 for an excellent effort in winning those quotas for Australia. The next phase of the selection for a team to go to Tokyo will be next year, when there's 4 selection competitions, and the final competition is at the Sydney International Shooting Centre on the 18th of March, and it'll be just after that that the selectors will decide who's going to be in the team for 2020 Tokyo. In 2020, we've got a couple of big events coming up, of course, and that's the full PA National Championships at Easter, and that's going to be at the Brisbane International Shooting Centre. So hopefully we'll see a lot of you turn up for that one. And followed by that in October, we're running another World Championship, this time in Action Pistol, which is going to be at the Toowoomba Pistol Club in early October. So that's interesting times coming up in 2020, and that's something to look forward to. And at this stage, I'd like to say, apologise that I'm not with you for this live presentation out of Yarra for the Christmas edition of the Range Report, but I do wish you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And in saying that, I also would like to thank Robin Kerry from Fuzzy Media, Mike Westorp, and of course Jess and Noel from the office for all their support during the year for making this media application work. And I'm sure you people out there, members of Pistol Australia, enjoys to see what is happening around Australia in the pistol shooting. So thank you very much, and wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And next year, make sure all your shots are 10s.
Well, welcome back. Great words there from our President Ray Andrews, and I just want to say from everyone here and the team at Making the Range Report, thank you to Ray and the board of Pistol Australia for supporting us on this journey. We've got some exciting things happening in 2020 which we'll get to, but Sergei Evgleski, great to have you on the show, mate. It's been a big 2019 for you. Let's go back to the Nationals here in April. You set a new national record and also claimed the national championship.
Yeah, it was it was really good leading up to it. Like training before it was really good. The Nationals atmosphere was awesome, so I felt like it was expected. It was just such a great turnout and great Nationals in general.
This is your club too here, isn't it? Yeah, right?
Yeah. That's where I
Familiar
started.
territory, home ground, family and friends coming to support you. It's got to be pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Like I had a lot of friends came out. My whole family were out there as well. Because usually it was always just mum, because back when she used to shoot Nationals, but now I could have my dad, my sister there as well. Had my partner there, my friends there. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's good. And you also went away with the university team and you carried the flag in the opening ceremony?
Yeah. So I went away for university to shoot air pistol with Bailey and Allison. And that was pretty unreal. That was pretty awesome. There was so many deserving athletes of it as well. So to be chosen to be flag bearer was pretty insane.
And so that takes you there. The lure now for an Olympic Games, Oceania Championship. You had a really good tournament. You shot the MQS, the minimum qualifying score, so you could then qualify for a quota spot, which you won the final and you claimed that quota for Australia for your discipline.
Yeah, so leading up to Oceania, I had just one goal, obviously just to win the quota spot. Wasn't really too worried about MQS because I just have to do what I usually do, just do what I can. And then leading up to the final, I was just focused on what I need to do, just technique-wise. And yeah, just didn't really focus on anything else. And there you go, got the quota spot.
There you go. So obviously next year we'll have the national coach Vlad in here later in the show. There's a process now. You claim the quota spot for your nation, and then next year we'll have 4 selection tournaments, and they'll select a team out of that do actually go to Tokyo. So you're in the mix. You've got to work pretty hard between now and then, and obviously Tokyo on the horizon for you.
Yeah, definitely. It's part of my goal, like to make the Tokyo team and to succeed over there. But now I've got to focus on the short-term goals, which is to qualify for the team. So go to the events, shoot as best as I can, and we'll see what happens.
So you're only a young man. How old are you?
I'm 22.
22. Okay. So in pistol competition, you can have quite a long lifespan, like a long longevity of competition. Do you look further past 2020? Do you think about 2024, 2028, or you just want to nail down 2020 first?
Realistically, I want to nail down 2020, just do as best as I can for Tokyo, but I can definitely see myself shooting till I'm 80, 100, I definitely...
Sport for life.
Exactly right. I can definitely see myself shooting in the future, and then when 2024 comes around, see what position I am in life and see what happens there, 2028, and so on and so on. It's
one of those gained skills, I guess, that should life take over, who knows where you go, and you might drop out for a little bit, you can come back to it later. So if you keep going in those 4-year Olympic cycles, and that's where your motivation is, and you keep going fantastically, but if you missed one, it doesn't mean you can't come back later. Exactly right, and that's the good thing about the sport, because the age gap can be such a big thing. We've had world champions that are in their 60s, and then we've had Olympians that are in their teens. It's just such a big age bracket. So that's a really good thing about it. You miss out on the Com Games, you miss out on Olympics, you can always wait 4 years and be able to qualify again. So if you look back on 2019, what's the biggest highlight for you so far? It's really tough because I had a lot of highlights for sure. So being the flag bearer for University Ad was definitely a big highlight for me. Breaking 2 national records at nationals for rapid fire was definitely a huge highlight as well. I think one of the best ones probably was the 2019 Beijing World Cup. I almost qualified for the final, but that was one of those competitions where I came out and did the best I can, and it was a really deserving score in my opinion. It was a PB. I matched my international PB, but it was just an awesome feeling. I was really close to getting the quota, but just shot the best I can. It was just a big highlight for me because it was such a big competition. And that's part of the process. Obviously, Pistol Australia sends you on international tours to get used to that international competition, standing on the range next to former Olympic champions, former world champions, current Olympic champions. You're in that mix with those people, and you've got to feel comfortable. Yeah, exactly right. You always got to prepare with who you shoot with. You just got to realise that they're there, and you just got to do the best you can, and you get comfortable around them. Yeah. Shooting's Do you just
really
zone
great.
out and go, I'm in my bubble, I don't care who's left and right of me, I'm in my bubble, I'm just doing my competition?
Yes and no. You got to realise what environment you're in. You got to realise you're in China, you're in Germany, whatever it is. You got to get used to the range. So you can't close everything off. If there's a crowd, you can't close them off. In my opinion, that is. But in saying that, you still got to narrow down and focus on what you need to do yourself. You can't focus on other shooters.
Do you gain energy from the crowd? I mean, same at Oceania. Again,
Yeah.
home crowd advantage, home range there in Sydney, which you've shot at quite a few times. Is that a motivator for you?
I never really thought about it, but for example, like when I went to Com Games last year, there was a huge crowd there, and I just told myself, you know, they're there. Like you can't block them out because they're going to be with vuvuzelas, they're going to be cheering, yelling. You can't block them out. So I just found out, like, just they were there, cool, like, do what you need to do. So it's cool. It's awesome knowing that there's people cheering you on, but at the same time, they're there. Like, you just got to do what you can.
You just do what you do.
Yeah.
Do what you do. Well, fantastic. We've got the president of Yarra Pistol Club here. He's going to come in and have a chat to us about the pistol competition here at Yarra, what's coming up in 2020. Welcome, Craig Park, onto the show. Welcome in, Craig. Just come in and join us, buddy. So it's great to be coming here live, obviously, from the Yarra Pistol Club, and great to have Craig. We met Craig back in April when you hosted the National Championships, ISSF and PA Nationals. Very, very successful championship. Lots of national records set. You must be really proud of the people here at the club and what you guys have achieved.
Yeah, for sure. Well, firstly, we are really proud of all the workers and all the volunteers. They all had the yellow hats on, if you remember back then.
Sure.
Some of the people, old Alex and Liz, I think Alex is in his 80s, remember, for 50 years,
Yeah,
hasn't he? They were working
loved
pretty
it.
hard. So, yeah, we're enormously proud of all of our workers at that comp. And we're pretty happy that the range turned it on at that comp. A couple of national records for you.
Yeah.
I think there's 8 altogether.
Elena shot one as well, and some of the other disciplines are all
Yeah.
shooting records. It was fantastic.
And at the Action Nationals just before, Nigel Gordon, I think he shot 2 national records, metallic side and open. So we're pretty proud of the range. Yeah,
It's a range to come and get national records on.
that's right, yeah.
What do you got coming up for 2020 at Yarra?
Yeah, it's a pretty big year. We've got ISSF state titles around Labor Day, so in March in Victoria. And then we've got the Action state titles and Action Nationals later in the year in August. And then the big one in 2021, we've got the Nationals, the PA and ISSF Nationals.
Oh, we're coming back again.
Back,
Oh,
yeah.
I had a great time, I tell you.
Yeah,
I'll be happy to
so,
come back for a nationals again.
Yeah, we've got a fair bit of work to do between now and then, but we'll make some big improvements and have everyone back.
Yeah, it's a great facility here. We're in the club rooms. It's a great socialising area. There's outdoor space. All the ranges are in tip-top shape. It's a good place to come.
Yeah, it is, but there is room for improvement. We want to put a new pergola out here so that we can have a bit more of a drink after the shooting finishes, a bit more entertaining. We want to fix up some of the ranges. The timing boxes, we want to upgrade the facilities. The toilets, especially for disabled access and for females, they've gone downhill a little bit. We have to improve the disabled access into the airshed. We'll put a ramp in there to make that a little bit nicer, a little bit easier. Yeah, there's lots to do. Upgrade all the electricals. So there's a fair bit to do.
Yeah, you keep working on it though. But look, it is a great club, and let's have a look at some of the highlights of what happened at Yarra at the Nationals.
For sure, let's have a look.
Are you ready?
Facilities here are fantastic. We've been very lucky. The local government helped us with some funding for disability access. The state and federal government gave us some money to improve our ranges. And we recently held the Action Match Nationals back in October, and now we're holding the Pistol Australia Nationals. So we've got about 300 competitors here.
I would have to say that the hospitality of the Australian shooters all over has been fantastic, and we've just had a ball.
We are taking so much back. It's incredible to see them do their thing. They've got a lot of custom guns that we've never even seen in New Zealand, and the skill level is unbelievably high.
Well, welcome back, everyone. It's time now for Coach's Corner with Joe Kapitanov, obviously our National Development Coach. And, of course, we're welcoming in Jess Morris, our Social Media Officer and also Sports Science Advisor. Welcome onto the show, the Range Report.
Great to be here.
Joe, what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about a range of things, including what's going to happen in the development squad sector for 2020.
You've got some really nice announcements to make. Some real good surprises.
Some really hot announcements to make on this show, our 7th episode, and our Christmas show for the year. So looking forward to actually making those announcements as the show unfolds.
Hey, Joe, where are we going to go in 2020 with the National Development Squad?
2020, we're going to make some fantastic announcements later on the show in terms of what's happening during 2020 with the development squad. And I think we will have a cracker of a year in 2020 in the development program.
Yeah, you've got some exciting announcements to make. We'll save those just for a moment. Jess, biomechanics, you've submitted your PhD.
Yep.
For you coming into pistol and looking at the movement required to bring that firearm to the correct position to shoot a 10 every time, that's right up your alley.
Yep, so biomechanics is actually the physics of human movement. So part of what we do is a skill analysis. So using physics in 3D motion capture, you can analyse a skill quite accurately.
Yeah, and Joe, we've gone out to the States and we've asked for nominations for the National Development Squad for 2020. Now, you want to cast the net a bit wider. So we want to go out to see the rest of the community. There might be someone out there who hasn't been identified yet, who maybe thinks they've got the skills. We want to look and we want to hear from those people. So if you're out there in the community and you think you've got the skills to be a great 25-metre rapid-fire shooter for the men, 25 for the women, air pistol shooter, send us an email, pistol.org.au.
Yeah, particularly if you're a junior and you have aspirations to wear the green and gold, we want to hear from you.
Yeah, pistol@pistol.org.au.
That's the one.
We want to assess people, and Jess, one of the roles we're going to do with you in 2020 is to look outside the sport. We know there's a lot of great athletes within Pistol Australia at the moment, but we want to see if there's maybe somebody outside who has the skill set and the temperament that could become a great shooter. We're looking, obviously, Joe, your programs, 2024 and 2028.
That is
You're looking
correct.
for the next Olympics, one down the road and one further down.
Yep. The program requires that long to develop an athlete. That's why we're casting the net wide for even a cross-section of other disciplines that could possibly be utilised in shooting. And with Jess, and we're going to look outside the square, as you called it, and see if we can identify potential people who can fulfil that role in terms of they already have the training mentality, they already have the winning mentality, they might have already been Olympic champions even, and I think it'll be invaluable source to look at the different disciplines and different sports.
Absolutely. Jess, we've already seen it happening. Obviously, Rugby Sevens, they identified Elia Green, who was a runner, and she came in, won Olympic gold in Rio. They've just done it now with a male athlete who's in the Australian program looking to go to Tokyo 2020. Rowing does it. They look for long levers, long arms, long legs for the right thing.
Yeah.
What are we looking for in pistol?
So with pistol shooting, some of the key skills that are easily transferable are your balance skills. So you have to be able to balance yourself essentially, so you can provide a good base of support. You also want to have very good fine motor skills, especially in your hands. Also your mental and physical endurance to be able to do the same movements over and over again, especially with the 10-metre pistol, which is at 90 minutes.
60 shots in 90 minutes.
60 shots in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And also great hand-eye coordination. So that's all those skills are widely used in a lot of other sports. So it would be good to look at those.
Yeah, and again, as you said, Joe, really when you're looking towards 2024 and 2028, you're looking at juniors because it's a 4 to 8 year program. Yep. So you're looking for someone, they don't have to be teenagers or early 20s, but ideally somebody who in 8 years' time is going to be in their prime to go.
Yeah, we for years in shooting, we've looked at people, progressing people who had already established ideas in shooting. What we want to do is try and establish a clean slate and give them all the training and all the skill acquisition that they need without any preconceived ideas on how to do it. And that way we will have a finished product that is more in tune with performance that is required at the highest level, especially in that time frame.
Now, tell us about your little announcement here. You've got
Yes.
someone you've invited into the program?
Yes, we've invited one of our former Olympian and medalist, Anne-Marie Forder, who is going to help us as a mentor and as an advisor on what it takes to be an Olympian. I think in shooting, other sports utilise their Olympians, and we've fallen a little bit behind, and I want to utilise...
Anne-Marie is a bronze medalist from the Sydney 2000 Olympics.
Absolutely, and I think she'll be invaluable to the program, to the development, to give our shooters a perspective on how and what it takes to be an Olympian and to perhaps win a medal, which is what we're aiming for.
That's it. Looking past Tokyo to 2024, 2028, that's where we're going with our development squad, and
the
Joe's running
development
that.
program, yeah.
Development program.
That's where it's headed, and I think she'll be an invaluable asset to the team, along with Jess and her sports science.
So for everyone out there, if you're already a member of Pistol Australia and you haven't been talent identified yet and you think you've got what it takes, send an email to pistol@pistol.org.au and we will assess you and we'll have a look at whether you've got what it takes to go through to the Olympic level. Well done, Joe. How do you sign off your coach's corner, mate?
The coaching corner, train well to shoot well.
Welcome back, and joining us now is Latko Aljobovic, the national coach. Of course, well, I don't know if you want to put the Santa hat on. You're not going to deliver the Santa presents yet, but you do need to tell people who are going to Tokyo and who's not going to Tokyo. So, difficult task for you in the next 4 to 6 months, where you're going to have 4 selection tournaments. What do you want your athletes to do between now and the end of those selection tournaments?
We are having good group of young athletes and mature athletes who will be fighting for quota places, for
Selection.
spots in national team. It will start in February, end of February, and will be finishing by end of March, and we will nominate on 27th of March people for Olympic Committee to be selected to
be ratified.
To be selected to the team, Australian national team for Olympic Games. Pretty everything is set up, our plan for next year set up for our Olympic team. We know where we'll compete, where we'll have training camps for acclimatization for Tokyo. This means everything is going on according to plan. I'm very pleased that in our group who will be fighting for spots at the Olympic, we have young guys who went through National Development Program, Pistol Australia National Development Program, came to High Performance Program, and went from, really they have 1-2 years of only shooting at the mature level. They're all very young. We have big support, I think, from Tina Spandiaro and Daniel Rapicoli, who will come as well here, and I believe that we'll have stronger team for these Olympic Games than we have had for previous Olympic game in Rio. And now I'm not hope, but I will plan everything possible for every candidate for Olympic team to do their best during selection period and for sure during preparation for Olympic Games.
Best possible result came out of the Oceania Championships. There was 4 quota spots for Australia. We claimed all 4 quota spots. So that gives us the option now for athletes in all those disciplines, your 25 metre and your 10 metre air pistol men and women, for 4 athletes to be selected to go.
Yeah, we have maximum number of athletes who can participate at the Olympic Games. We will have mixed team that will be combined from athletes who will shoot sport pistol and rapid fire pistol, together with our athletes who will be selected for men and women air pistol event. This means we will have opportunity to fight in 5 Olympic disciplines, for 5 medals, and what I'm looking forward that I will try to do my best to prepare them on this particular D-Day, that they will be in their best shape and they will fight for their best performances.
We've got 4 selection spots available, and you've got 7 or 8 athletes going for those 4 spots. So there's going to be people that are disappointed, or maybe even more than 8 athletes going for those 4 spots. Ones that shot the MQS at Oceania, who are qualified. There's going to be some disappointment. How do you deal with that with an athlete to say that, sorry, you're not going this time?
I think we discuss with every athlete who is in high performance program and some from development program that we are setting up realistic goals. What are they aiming for during this coming 2020? And what I'm really encouraging them, go forward for your main goal. If you will be lucky for Olympic Games, it's good. If you are not so lucky and you're going further, we have a plan that you need to develop your skills, mainly your maturity, your ability to handle competition environment, be strong mentally to perform. It's all because on the line we need to have people who have guts, who is sustained to do what they need to do in this moment.
So you've got Sergey here, obviously one of your young chargers. We spoke to him a little earlier in the show about being 22. His competition window is quite big. So you're looking for younger athletes to come through the development program so you can have athletes that maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 Olympic Games if they're prepared to commit to those sort of cycles?
I believe that we have such athletes as Serge, Scott Anderson, Bailey Groves, Thomas Ashmore in
There's
our...
some great shooters in that discipline, isn't there? Some really good
they're
shooters.
good, they're picking up, and our leader, Serge, he's best for this moment. He's in best 20 in the world. This means we're on the right track, and why are you not able to organize any training camp with French team or with German team? Because they're afraid about us. They not invited us.
That's a great way to be.
Yeah, it is, because in past it was some kind of movement, we can do this, but now before Olympic Games in Tokyo I cannot find a possibility to be with them, and they are finding any reason, to say not.
They don't want to train against Australia because Australia is pushing the envelope and pushing better, and that's got to be exciting as a competitor too, Sergey, to go to national competition and people then looking at you saying, well, yeah, they're pretty good. Watch out for the Australians.
Yeah, definitely.
Because this team, Serge, Bailey and Thomas, they have been competing on junior stage and they were winning from German team, you know. They were best at this stage. And I believe we are having our way in development, style of living different with some kind of professional shooting. And we need to be so patient to give these guys opportunity to grow as they can. Not such way we need to force them to perform. With Serge, we have a long-term planning up to 2024, where he needs to be best, really, going through World Championship and 2022, and be ready to fight for medals in 2024. If he will be lucky this year, he will be lucky next year. Sorry, he will be lucky this year. But he's growing as athletes. He's building up his technical skills, similar as Elena, similar as Alison Heinrich or Olivia Eriksson, Daniel Mormon. All they are deserving to go and do so their best.
So that pressure from the coach to say your development path, obviously 2020 you want to do the best you can, 2024 he's looking at a long development plan there for you. You obviously accept that pressure and take it on with full sight, and you're happy to go with it?
I wouldn't even really call it as pressure. Like, it's more like just a realistic goal, because see how I am in training and see my past scores, like, it's definitely a realistic
You're
approach.
watching yourself go up the curve.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really even call it pressure. I just call it more like this is most likely what's going to happen.
And it's where you want to go, obviously. It's
Exactly
your focus.
right. Exactly right. So I just got to keep doing what I'm doing and just keep going forward, and then that's basically what the plan will end up being.
Yeah, and the benefit, obviously, of experience, Sergey, and that some of the guys and girls are going overseas and competing in international competitions, World Cups. It's all about conditioning them under the pressure of international competition to be used to it, comfortable with it, feel like they belong there, and so they can compete at their absolute best.
Yeah, you found the right way, belong there, yeah. And I believe that Serge belongs to his group now because everyone from top athletes communicated with him. all top shooters and coaches coming along, and they are looking after Serge shooting sometimes, and not such way that it was in past. Similar, Elena, she shooting, people coming to her, discussing with her. She was leading sometimes in competition, because Australia in pistol shooting going slowly up, and we would like to build traditions in junior development squad, and our high performance squad to be consistent, be open, work together. I like to say for everyone from state, from Pistol Australia manager, executive, they all have good hearts. I didn't meet any average or bad person, all they have good heart. We need only to work together and bring good present for us in 2020 and 2024. I'm not Santa Claus, but I will try to do my best, and our athletes will try to do best.
Absolutely, they will, and they've got a fantastic coach leading them. So, Vlad, thanks for coming on our Christmas special show. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for being part of the journey with us in 2019. Again, I just want to thank Ray Andrews and the board of Pistol Australia for all the support you've given us throughout 2019. All the state presidents for backing us for 2020. We've got 12 shows. We're going to cover all the events. We're going to up our social media. I want to thank Fuzzy Media, the whole team, Jess in the office, Noel, for having the vision to get us on board and start this journey. It is so much fun. We love being part of this community and bringing the pistol community out to everybody.
Yeah.
And we want to get people to come and join in. If you want to have a go, get onto pistol.org.au, find your local club, give them a call, go down and try shoot and get involved. It is so much fun. But yeah, I'm not Santa Claus, but I'm going to put the hat on to finish the show off. There you go. Vlad, you're going to be the elf. Oh yeah, Vlad can be an elf as well, and Sergey as well. So
Yeah, chuck it on. Why
yeah,
not?
there we go. On behalf of everyone, Merry Christmas,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas.
Have a great year.
Thank you.
See you in 2020.